like God. So I start my day every day the same way. That's like Rob. The dog jumps on my face as soon as he hears me start to move around in my bed. He's on my face. He bounces his way to the kitchen on his back legs, literally on his back legs, waiting for his treats, because it's Christmas morning in my house every day for the dog. I give him a couple treats to buy myself a little bit of time to wake up, and as soon as he's done eating his treats, he starts bugging me to go outside and go for a walk. I shouldn't really say bugging. He doesn't really bug. He sort of sits between me and the front door, staring at me incessantly. It's subtle, but incredibly effective. We have been doing this basically every day for years, and yet it's still super easy for me to get caught up in my own agenda and not feel like going, especially when it's dark or cold and wet out. My brain starts listing all of the reasons why it's okay to skip the walk every day. But with the exception of the absolute worst weather, we always end up going. Why? Well, he's persistent, for one thing, and I feel guilty really easily. But also, I remind myself that he's right, and I'll be glad that I went. So yesterday morning was no exception. The time had changed. Oh yeah, this one is old. And it threw me off a little bit. It's dark and damp and cold out, and I just don't want to go. And I hear my brain go, I look outside and yeah, we're not doing that today. But I bundled up and went anyway. The minute I stepped one foot out the front door and I smelled the fall air and the smoke from the neighbor's chimney, I took a deep breath and I smiled and I just thought, what a perfect day. Why didn't I want to do this 2 minutes ago? About 2 minutes later, it started raining. Once upon a time, I never ever would have dragged myself outside just to go for a walk. Never would have happened. Especially if it was even threatening rain. And if it did happen and I got stuck out in the rain, I'd think, of course, it would start raining the minute I got outside. And I would have turned around, afraid to get wet, sulking that the stupid rain ruined my day. And I would have spent the rest of the day in a crappy mood because it was so dark and rainy. And the weather just ruined everything. But not yesterday. I strolled around, listening to the sound the rain made hitting my jacket. I laughed at the dog getting full of mud, not caring if he got mud in the house when we got home. He's shaking off his soaked fur. And as we're walking home, I noticed that I was smiling to myself. I was genuinely just happy in that moment, that dark, wet, early morning moment. And I'm still always a little taken aback when I notice myself doing this. Just smiling for no reason. It's really new to me. Like many people, I chased happiness through my body and my scale for most of my life. But it just made me more miserable, and it took me over 30 years to realize that's just not how happiness works. There's not a single diet, exercise program, size, or number on the scale that could have ever created the level of truly authentic peace and joy that I'm able to live now. Because happiness is an inside job. It's not determined by the weather, our size, how our partner treats us, how much we earn, where we live. It's created or destroyed by the things going on in our heads. It also took me 30 years, over 30 years, to learn that I don't have to listen to the voice in my head. I'm sure you have the same one. You know the one I mean, that voice that talks you out of all of the things that you are going to do that you know are good for you, like movement every day, right? Or into things that aren't good for you, like overeating the Halloween candy when you know it's going to make you feel like crap. That voice that all too often forgets to notice the little blessings of life when it's so busy focusing on all of the negative things. That voice that would rather sulk over the rain than go outside and splash in the puddles. That voice writes fiction. And I've decided that I'd rather write my own story. One that lets me splash in the puddles and focus on life's blessings. And in so doing, I finally learned to smile for no reason. Thank you.